Greetings, I'm George Boston Rhymes, and this is Boston G.B.R. on YouTube. I want to reflect back on the problems with the Brooks County Board of Elections and the Brooks County voting problems in general, as well as the problems with the G.B.R. allegedly intimidating citizens in Brooks County. Yet the South Georgia newspapers continues to ignore much of the information surrounding the problem of voting in the state of Georgia. If you watch these video clips, you will see that a meeting took place on July the 17th, 2012. Yet the beef of that meeting were ignored. In fact, nothing has been published in local newspapers or on television or talked about on radio. But if you check out this channel, you will see the complete meeting wherein questions came up about the Board of Election Supervisor Ken Collins, the superintendent, and others involved with the election process in Brooks County. But before we got to August the 17th, the people in Brooks County knew that something was wrong with the arrest of the 10+2 outstanding citizens in Brooks County. They came together on several occasions. Many of their meetings were ignored. It was as if though they never even existed. Oh yeah. But I was there on scene, and I want to continue to give you the truth because you deserve no less.
This is beyond question.
Listen.
This is
Can you please line up in twos and stay in the right lane? Please.
All these people came together in support of the Quitman 10 because they knew something was going wrong in Brooks County with the election process. We all waited for the Secretary of State, Brian P. Kemp, to come. We waited for the Justice Department to come in to ensure that the constitutional rights of citizens were not being enfranchised or disenfranchised. However, that case with the Quitman 10 is still pending the Georgia court system, we are told. Yet Representative Nathan Deal came and removed the 3 representatives on the School Board of Education. He removed them by an executive order. Therefore, the citizens who voted the people into office that they wanted to represent them were removed with the stroke of a pen without ever going to court. But once again, the people in Quitman knew something was wrong. And so they marched, they assembled, and they talked about it. Listen, please.
And if you can, as we walk off in twos. Can we do it that way? Yes. That's the way we like to do it. We've been doing it all of our lives, some of us. That's the way we like to do it. Stay on the right-hand side, not get on the center yellow line. Stay in the right lane. All right? You got it? I know this is the first time for some of you now, but this is the way we do it. We were trained to do it this way. One of them two.
The person that's talking is Representative Tyrone Brooks. He's a civil rights giant that marched along with Dr. King, Joseph Lowry, and others. This was in front of the Shoemate Church following a meeting wherein the most honorable Joseph Lowry came on behalf of the Quitman team and voting problems in Brooks County. They assembled at the Church of Shoemate. Listen, please, listen.
This is in Valdosta, in Brooks County, Georgia. Quitman, the county of Brooks. Yesterday and today, in a big event here in Quitman. This is all a around the Quitman 10. Alleged voter fraud, alleged intimidation by the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. We have marches, people marching for the cause of justice. We had Reverend Joseph Lowry earlier. This is his story for the city of Quitman, Georgia. And we are here to keep you informed. We have the state president, Edward DuBose. We also have Joseph Lowry, who attended earlier. Here we have Tyrone Brooks.
So these people came to Quitman way before Brian P. Kemp sent his investigator down a couple of weeks ago. The civil rights leaders in the state of Georgia and around the nation came to draw attention to the problems in Brooks County. Yet, the local newspapers and television stations and radio stations are not giving the problems with voting rights the attention that were received in the 60s and the 70s. And it seems that the racial divide, the political divide, the religious divide has come to a point wherein it is becoming almost where it is unprecedented in the history of this nation. Let me play a little bit more from this video that I recorded, although it received, although this protest march, for the most part, were ignored by CNN, MSNBC, and other news media outlets with the responsibility of keeping the American people informed. But thank God for YouTubes, blogs, Facebook, Twitter, and others on the internet. Let's listen to the conclusion of this clip as people march for the cause of voting rights and equal justice under the law. These people came from Hickory Head, Barwick, Dixie, Grooversville, the Dry Lake Road, Atlanta, Savannah, from across the nation to draw attention to the problems with voting here in the state of Georgia. Listen.
What people are doing that are from Quitman in Brooks County, all right? This is what we do. Sometimes people don't understand, but we must understand that people marched before we ever marched. People was fighting for us before we knew what the fight was all about. And so these are courageous soldiers. Just imagine if they would have stayed home. What if they would have stayed out in Hickory Head and Dixon Dry Lake Road? But they chose to come and participate in this march. This is what it's all about. You got the right to vote because people did what these people are doing. We got the right to own land because people did what these people are doing. You got to have a mindset to make things better for your children and coming generations of children. We cannot just go along to get along. We cannot live in fear. We cannot just talk about Jesus in the four walls of a church, but cannot get out in the streets and walk the beat. We talk about Jesus, but we won't get on our feet and do the work of Jesus. It's easy to imitate and duplicate the life and legacy of Dr. King. But until we begin to put ourselves on the line, as Dr. King and others did. Listen.
Keep on walking, keep on talking, marching down the King's Highway.
The man that just passed is Mr. Vinson, president of a local branch of the National Action Network from the Honorable Al Sharpton's movement. He came down and he spoke at the event, and he spoke very well. If you notice, you'll see not only black people, you see black and white people, you also see Christians, you see Jews. We also had professors from Valdosta State University. We had people from Moody Air Force Base. Um, and it just was a cross conglomeration of people who came to Quitman in support of the outstanding people that had been arrested, many believe unjustly, for alleged voter fraud and absentee ballot violations. But listen, please.
And so it is.
That young man there and his mother with the stick impressed me so much. He was handicapped, but he was at the church, and he marched from the church to the other church where the march assembled. Then he marched all the way over the bridge in Brooks County to the courthouse to meet 540 other people. I must commend that young man. There are people who are not handicapped, but they stayed at home shivering in fear. And what a disgrace. Listen, please. That man with the black cowboy hat on is Representative David Lucas. Served in the General Assembly in Atlanta, in the state of Georgia, for over 37 years, I was told. And he has been on the war path for equal rights and justice for so long, it's almost unbelievable. He got sick, and still his sickness, and they say he had a stroke, but he still remained in the mix for the Quitman 10. Let you know how deep the heartburn of injustice is, and how it burns away at some of us, while others can't even feel the pain. Listen, please.
Brother Lucas, how you like it so far? How's the participation today, the way you see it and everything?
Well, participation out here is great. We just need the folks to sit around watching and standing need to join.
All right, thank you, my beautiful brother. Once again, I'll say it once and I'll say it twice. This is the real dream of Dr. King. Just sitting and eating chicken and barbecue turtle eggs is not the way. As you can see, they're heading to go over the bridge. This is his story. This is KBCI.blogspot.com. Keeping you informed because that's what we do. Bye-bye, we go.
And the story goes, in the direction of Brooks County Courthouse, all in support of the Quitman 10, to highlight that there's serious problems at the Brooks County Board of Elections, and the meeting on August the 17th, and when the representative from Secretary of State Brian P. Kemp's office arrived at Pastor Avery's church on Culpeper Street, everything that took place at that meeting were ignored from the general public. Thank God for Patrick Davis in Macon of the Examiner, who gave a beautiful story and still writing about how the news are being suppressed and abated and controlled by the Quitman Free Press, the Valdosta Daily Times, the Thomasville Enterprise, radio stations, television stations, and others, including CNN and MSNBC. Newsworthy information that would be well received into the minds of the American people, because they have a right to know. Our sons and daughters served in foreign nations to get the right to vote. But it seems as if, though, there is a pattern and practice to keep the people of America deaf, dumb, and blind to the times, and unable to make intelligent decisions based on facts. People in Brooks County really have little confidence even in the Secretary of State's office to do anything constructive, because the political divide in the state of Georgia is in a state of ill repair, as some of us see it, And it's really sad. But this is why I say, and I'll close on this note, I do not believe that the Quitman 10 plus 2 can even receive a fair trial in the state of Georgia. In fact, I'm wondering, just for the record, how many judges are in the southern jurisdiction here in the state of Georgia. What say you, fellow Georgians, American people, and others around the world? George Boston Ryan, Boston G.B.R. on YouTube, kvci.blogspot.com. Peace be unto you. Bye-bye.